Well, Nolly will be hoping that this is just as relaxed as he was over in that chair during the face-off. Sugar here, joined by Johnny and Turtle. We have got one best of 5 to start us off here, and then we start really getting into the untested waters for both of these teams, Johnny.
This is it. I mean, this is time to put the players together on the field and see if what we expect to happen is actually going to happen. Because GLD are the favorites going into this. I think the community actually have them as strong favorites, maybe even to go all the way to the final of this event. But before you can even think about that, you've got to really take Top Blokes seriously, because they showed so much early in the season, and if they can just bring that back, they're absolutely good enough to be in this series.
Tell let's come to you real quick. Oh, wait a second. That's immediate from Cassio as he puts on the crossbar. Let's come to you very quickly, because you're actually one of the rare players that we know of that has done this format before. Back in 2017, you played in the Pro Rivalry League, and you pretty much did the exact same format. How did you find it back then? How did you find reacting on the fly as in a series that long?
I mean, when it comes to endurance in this game, the 60 seconds that you have between each individual game is so important. And how you use that time, that's what I think will make the difference between these players. Because whenever we go into a timeout, you know, how focused are they? Are they focused on getting a little bit of relaxation in, dropping the controller, and refreshing your mind? That is the key. Staying fresh in a long series. Otherwise, you're just going to keep going downhill. Your stamina will be gone after one series, and you can basically kiss the semifinals goodbye.
And that's where I think GLD have to be the massive favorite, in my opinion. They've really shown such mental strength at the tail end of the season, where other teams were struggling for motivation. GLD only got better and better, and they've had so much success with tactical timeouts as well. So the more of that has to be a good thing for GLD.
Well, unlike the last series, expecting to see those tactical timeouts be a little bit more frequent. They only really came into play during the last few moments of the set. Devo takes his time. Two players that we are going to have to look out for here, Turtle. Nolly and Archie.
Oh my.
Really have. Archie pretty much dominated everybody's minds when they came through at the start of the season. Then towards the end, Nolly found his own place on the roster.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, even looking back to the head-to-head, these guys played each other about a month ago in the group stage of the Spring Major, and Nolly had 1.3 goals per game, 36% shooting accuracy in that series, and he also spent the most time back on defense, so playing that third-man role, trying to get involved with the accuracy, being a bit aggressive, and overall just popping off. And meanwhile, when we look at Top Blokes, interesting you say Archie, I think he's the go-to with mechanics, but I look at Cassio a lot of the times. I think his assist plays and the way he moves the ball around for his teammates, that is the key factor for me when Top Blokes are doing well.
We're seeing a really back and forth game to start off here, which is unsurprising. This is quite common in the highest level of Rocket League, especially when there's so much on the line, both teams posturing quite defensively. But I'm expecting that to change. The deeper into the series we go, we might start to see some of those interceptions already. 1-0 actually for Top Blokes. They were lining up to score this one. They were all there.
You
We've
can
got
already
the
see
follow-ups. I mean, this is just something else. Look at this from Archie. The touch into flame. What more could you ask for?
You want it for another few players out. I'm sure they'll deliver. Always looking to try and get those hits, but I think you are onto something there, Johnny. Both these teams, both these coaches, Rams and Gregan, like to drill a very, I'm not going to say rigid style, but they like the teams to keep their form. And as we go through, they'll start slowly spotting angles and they'll start spotting opportunities. This one was about as clear-cut of an opportunity as you can possibly get.
Yeah, Nolly's all over that poor touch from Cassio, who's trying to knock it into the corner wall and have it bounce somewhere for safety, but it's just gone into the middle. So a poor touch there from Cassio. Nolly punishes it.
And it's quite weird as well. You'd think that there would be a rotation coming through from Cassio's poor touch, maybe on the far side of the post, but either way, an easy counterattack and a nice little tied-up game here in the first game of the first series of this set. It's going to be a long one, boys.
Well, I'm sure either side of this field would prefer it not to be. They'd want to try and get this over and done with nice and quick. Get a little bit of a break, and it might have been defense breaking down this time. Archie has scored another open net, Turtle. But I mean, I think the key thing is that there's another open net.
Oh, the slow play from Cassio. I didn't really see that whenever we started the replay, but then as we got into that shot, you could see him come across, hover the boost, and then get that slight touchdown off the crossbar.
Yeah, there was actually a defender there as well getting bumped away, so no chance for Devo to get that second touch that he'd planned. He's chipped the ball up and then intended to follow it. Top Blokes not giving him any luxury of time to play with. And speaking of time, this one's really gone away from them. A quiet start to the game has now led to there only being a minute remaining with a 1-goal deficit for Guild. Archie passed though. He had the underside of him completely exposed with the mind game, mid-air dribble. Mechanically, Top Blokes look on fire.
For Guild, looking for a chance to get away from this. Archie wants to add a little bit more of a cushion to this play. Instead, Foe follows up. Cassio takes his time. Nice and calm with the way that he chose to play that. But so far, this latter half of this game has been all Top Blokes. They are really doing a great job of controlling the field, getting their rotation into play. Here's Nolly off the backboard. Follow-up comes in a bit late, and Cassio gets rid. Nolly back over to Devo. He's not going to get it. That means Foe has got to go chasing just a little bit. Play is gone. And now they've only got 30 seconds to try and find one more, as that's... Well, I'm hoping that was communicated, because that was late notice for the defender.
Yeah, and I love the approach that we're seeing from Guild whenever they do get on offense, but their defense a bit shaky, the positioning all over the place, and Top Blokes, that month of preparation, it's coming in handy.
Yeah, they're still rotating deep though. Top Blokes have got gaps in the midfield. They're not really pressuring the ball all that much. That's really what they should be trying to do here in the final few seconds. Now Flame advances. He's got Devo blocked as well. Huge plays by Flame, and it's a long road only for Guild if they're going to keep this one alive.
Oh, there's the follow-up from Foe. Puts it up high.
No way.
Great call, but it's not the bounce they were after. Devo puts it right back in the middle. Cassio does avoid being hit by Nolly. Foe off the backboard. Nobody left for Guild. And game one goes to Top Blokes.
Wow. I love the idea. You could see there was almost a fake coming out from Nolly to leave it for Tho, but I don't think it was communicated properly. Regardless, Top Blokes, game one, it was a clean finish from them.
Very impressive stuff, and it wasn't just a game where they've capitalized on a couple of mistakes and stolen a game away from a team who are overall out pressuring them and feeling the ball more in the midfield. No, Top Blokes actually had the pressure on Guild for the majority of this one. They outshot them, and it was one mistake from Cassio to let Guild back into the game, but then actually Top Blokes were the ones really forcing the issue to expose Guild's defense, and I would love to see more of that. That's exactly the Top Blokes have been missing for a long, long time.
And I think that really caught Guild out, especially because it felt like Guild were happy to sort of do the gentleman's grip. We're both going to ease into this series. We'll both, take our own chances back and forth. And Top Blokes just said, nah, we're going to steal your boost, hook right back around, take out your goalkeeper. Like, there was no gentleman's agreement there from the team with the top hat. So they'll try and give that one back, Guild, as we head into game number 2.
That's what I love Top Blokes. When they're getting aggressive and going for demos, they have no hesitation. We're not getting that passive play style where they want to slowly approach the ball. Even you mentioned it, Johnny Boy, yourself. You have to meet Guild in the midfield and continue to challenge to hold that pressure. They didn't really do it at the beginning of game one, but slowly it felt like they continued that aggression as the first shot comes through and saved by Guild.
And Nolly's struggling to find his wheels in game number 2. But Tho's got his, and that's a shot on net. It's saved by Flame, but everybody's committed. Cassio with a quick recovery. And Archie's first onto the ball. Air dribble it clear. One more touch on it, and it's in. Not going to get there. And it's again Top Blokes to open the scoring.
Wow. Well, these were the mechanics that you were looking for, Shogun, from Archie. Exactly that. The follow-up past Tho and into the net.
It's that typical thing, isn't it, when you usually go for those air dribbles? You just get that one extra touch that the goalkeeper doesn't expect. You take it further than they think you can take it. And Foe completely caught out. Guild right back on it yet again. And we already see Top Blokes trying to create their own opportunities. So overall, Top Blokes definitely looking like the more solid team. They've been rewarded as such. Infield pass. Great positioning from Flame. He's going to be able to try and get himself in the way. But for Guild, Johnny, how is this looking to you? Is this a finishing issue? Is this... Oh, well, guess what? Finishing's not an issue. I take that back. Nolly has now introduced himself to the series.
Yeah, it's a Nolly issue. He wasn't having a good start to the game, but here he is. I was wondering if he did that a bit too far. He really had to struggle to get back to it initially, but then he actually arrived on the ball with time to spare. Made it look easy on the rebound. Fantastic finish from Nolly. Guild equalized once again.
I'm even looking at the backboard. You know, you think somebody from Top Blokes would have been in position, tried to get the in and out save in the goal, but couldn't find it. And the pressure has been on ever since. We can see all the shots coming in off the backboard, trying to utilize that space that's given.
Guild will need to avoid doing what has been a little bit of their own issue, of their own choosing a lot of times this season, which is when they find something that works once, they tend to go back to it over and over again, struggle to bring in variety to their offense.
Oh my. So playing with a clutch demo there. That was just about to build up into something, but no more. No more for Nolly's car in that play.
Archie passed one. Devo very handily clears the ball away. It's right back down. What a pass that was, and Foe had to be on point. Could afford to be ball chasing that time around, otherwise he would have been very far away from the position, would have been caught out yet again. Flame, field pass, Cassio just got too far forwards.
You've seen these touches from Top Blokes going to the corners. They're just kind of going for strength when it comes to the clears and not focusing on possession. The double tap again. It's that same spot, Johnny, off the backboard that is proving to be successful for Guild, and it leads to one, followed up from Tho.
And the boost is not comfortable for Top Blokes as Flame hesitated to attack that ball at the near post, and he probably wishes he did, because by driving out of the goal, he just put himself in no man's land, and then nobody's ready to get in the way of the incoming shot. So Guild take the lead for the first time this series, first time this set. Here comes Archie. He's over the top of one. He's taking a hit on the way in, though, and that's going to give Guild a chance to recover.
Nolly, very solid challenge from him, gets rid of it, and he's got a second one, and once again, that backboard. I was complaining just a moment ago how Guild might settle into a rhythm where they keep going for the same thing over and over again, but here's the flip side of that. If it's working, and Top Blokes aren't doing anything to defend it, why not? It suddenly becomes, you know, something really good for them. As Foe right back down the middle. Flame, that's not a great hit from him. It's going to be up to the rest of his team just to try and maintain some pressure, but that looks like the offense is now finished for them. Or at least it would have been if Devo could have made a decent bit of contact. Very dangerous play from Foe. Right back to the middle. Flame with Archie in support. Not going to be able to use it. And Nolly on the other side of the field. Look at that for confidence. Harassing the goalkeeper. Guild seem to be settling down here.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that was a great pass. It's well covered in the near post. Archie with the save. How key is that? Just staying within one, Turtle, when you've, you know, really got the pressure on you. You're struggling to get any kind of look at the other half of the field.
Absolutely.
Making those saves, keeping them in it. And now Archie at the other end. He's denied by Tho.
Well, the defense on the ground for Top Blokes has been phenomenal, but when it comes to putting somebody on the backboard, they can't find it. But the 50-50s coming out from Top Blokes on offense might yield some results. It hasn't broken down the defensive Guild quite yet, but the pressure is on, and maybe a flip reset. Guild seems to be on the last hope to get these challenges, maybe a clear, but the pressure, it's relentless from Top Blokes.
The issue was there is that as desperate as Guild, that could have been pretty much anywhere, really. But as good as the pressure has been from Top Blokes, they gave it up at the worst possible moment. Now Devo loitering on the other side of the field. Guild are not rushing to get players back. He's been rewarded on occasion. That's not the pass Archie would have wanted. He was sat ready and waiting and did not get the delivery.
Yeah, somewhere between a shot and a pass, and ends up being neither. That's a pass though. Archie receives it and it's denied by Devo. The saves continue to work out for Guild, just like they were for Top Blokes moments ago. We're inside the final 10 seconds of the game.
Going clear. Nolly. Only as far as Flame. That sets up very well, though, for Foe. He's going to take it to the air and waste all of the remaining time. Is anyone going to be able to follow this? No, they're not. Guild answer back. And they've answered back incredibly well. Turtle, one thing that becomes interesting from here on out, then, is that if a team went 0-2, we would have expected to see a timeout happen. When we get to 1-1, especially in a best of 5, that timeout becomes a little bit more tricky about whether or not you want to use it.
I'm personally not a fan of using it at this time. I mean, you just come off of something where it's not a huge loss against Guild. Top Blokes kept it close. There were even chances in the final moments. Say they got obliterated, I could understand it. But given how early it is in this series alone of the set, there's no way.
Yeah, you got to just play on here. I think what they're doing is working to some degree, and the one glaring weakness, like Turtle already identified, It's the backboard. I mean, Season 3 called. They want the strats back from Guild. Because,
hey, Devo's going to love it this Season 3.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. You want Devo on your team if you're playing Season 3 strats, but you really expect top blokes to have more backboard defense. I'm very surprised to see as many just shots ricocheting off there with no top blokes players able to get any interceptions. Because the rest of their interception game's been on point. We'll see if it continues.
I mean, that's something that we don't always or often say, about top blokes. I think that their positioning has always been fantastic, but then when it comes down to the aggression, but it's really the opposite in this series against Guild. Maybe that's something they had prepared for, tried to change up on their strategy going into this series alone, but you're right, Johnny. They've got to fix something up about that backboard. Otherwise, Guild are going to keep having a field day off of it like this one. There it is again. You can't leave it open. Don't give this man space off the backboard.
Does anything look more right than Devo scoring a double tap? That was absolutely beautiful. And the way he managed to just twist and turn his car to get it right back into position, that was a difficult shot to play. But Devo was more than capable of playing it.
Yeah, they got to just keep on going. If top blokes aren't going to defend the backboard, just keep sending the ball up there. It is so difficult to read the bounce when you're right underneath it. And when you've got a team like Guild do, with Devo on the roster, and as well as, I mean, Nolly just scored a double in the last game. We all know Tho can easily do that. They're going to bury those with consistently. It's on top blokes to really change up their defensive positioning. That is becoming a real problem in defense.
Oh, there's the infield pass again. Casio just manages to hold off the pressure that was on him, but that could have been so close to him being just bumped into the net.
I mean, this was a really difficult angle as well because he had to get it across. You could see the defender was falling down on top of the ball. I'm not sure if there would have been a touch or potentially making contact there for the defender, but regardless, he went for the safe shot. And Casio, a little bit of some flashy shooting there to tie things up.
So one each over here. We're all tied up as we look to see which team can take our first series. Devo fakes out the first player, but the unfortunate part about that is that the ball just kind of stopped on the floor for him, so no real ability to play it afterwards. Casio, he wants to add to the double tap coin count, and he wasn't quite able to do so. Devo wants to show him how it's done. Up to the air, off the backboard, and just seeing the same issues every single time. Even if top blokes get to these plays off the backboard, it requires so much boost compared to if you just had somebody waiting around.
Well, there's a calculated pinch from top blokes. That was definitely unexpected from Guild's perspective. They had nobody back, but pinches are pretty hard to aim when you really throw yourself at them like top blokes just did. I've got to disagree once again. I mean, the backboard just looks like a good option. Guild have just got to keep going for it because that is, you know, sometimes a risk to just keep going for it over and over again. If the other team are ready for it, they can just wait for the bounce and smash the ball right into your half. But clearly top blokes are never positioned for it, so it's not, there's no counter-attacking threat. Just keep on going for it.
But even then, I'm looking at the boost right now, and it's all in favor of Guild. There's several times where even all three players are above 50 boost, and if you're also leaving the backboard open and your top blokes, not only do you have Guild with these crazy mechanics who can make things out of thin air, even with no boost, but they are ready to go full boost in the tank, and they're going to go for those mechanical plays. You've got to put a stop to that. Even though it's all tied up 1-1, it still feels like that edge is slightly in favor of Guild.
I have to point out just how much boost has to be collected to keep Tho above 50. It's clearly domination that they are working with right now.
Yeah.
Is Nolly going to stick around? He also has Tho up in support. Nolly either back down through his own choice, or the infield pass almost works. Flame able to just land on it. You're looking like the more threatening of the two teams right now, but we are still at one each. Devo with Nolly. Nolly not going to go for it. We feel quite comfortable beating Flame as we get another infield. This is turned into a... Oh, wait a second. That's gone past. And Turtle, I hope you had a better look at this than I have, dude, because I have no idea how this has ever gone in.
Oh, Tho got a touch on the flip. What is going on?
He was looking at the player. He was looking at the player. He's trying to dodge the demo, but you gotta hit the ball. You gotta at least make some kind of contact. I mean, if you get demoed going for the save there, fair enough. Good demo, but he's just left it. Oh, what a save though. Flame denies an equalizer right off the kickoff. That's a disaster. I think Devo's just really... He's between a rock and a hard place, certainly, because you're close to being demoed and you got to go for the ball, but I really don't like you just sitting there and waiting for it to go past him. I don't think that's the right decision ever.
Oh, no, wait,
again, no, just able to get there. Oh my goodness, Guild having trouble with the slow rollers.
Yeah.
It's been the backboard for Top Blokes. Well, I mean, I guess Top Blokes just got to keep on shooting the ball low and slow at Guild's net. It's causing them problems.
I mean, at this point, I feel bad for Tho. He was in that play and had pre-flip to get back on defense, got a touch, and then you saw the disaster on defense off the crossbar. Maybe something there, but Archie had other words and other plans. Now we've got Nolly trying to get this transition out. It has come into a battle for midfield possession.
Yeah, this is very quickly turned around, and this is also Top Blokes banking on the pressure that they had on the defenders back in game one. Now we've already got their opponents flinching just a little bit. Nolly into the midfield. Cassio half rotates, doesn't quite get it, but it was enough to put the offense off. And once again, Guild just respecting everything that Top Blokes do. There's the flip reset, not going to get too much. Sort of turn the ball over there. Maybe there'll be a double commit there from Guild. Underneath from Foe. Low boost. One boost to him. He'll say that that's more than enough. This Flame will finally clear the lines.
Archie's done a phenomenal job at the tail end of this game, just covering his teammates. Every time that a whiff or a misposition comes in, he's there to block it. And it will be, once again, Top Blokes with a win. Actually, a really good decision to let that drop from Cassio. If he'd taken a shot on target, there's always a chance that the Guild defender gets the save and they end up in a 0-second play. Top Blokes, 2-1 over Guild. This is something none of us expected, but with Guild's inconsistencies, we can't call it surprising on the day.
I mean, we call it inconsistency. And when I'm looking at the defense, that's an area that I don't even expect. It was just chaos. I mean, how can you plan for that? Whenever you're Tho, you go for the pre-flip and then the demos, the physical plays. Cassio had a great shot there, but I wanted to take another look at this. Look at this. Tho gets a touch. It goes behind him. Flame's looking for the demo.
Yeah.
And Devo is just left so confused on the play, trying to put the pieces together, Shogun.
Yeah, and it's become a little bit of a weak point for them overall because, yet again, that third man is being targeted. And I can't quite tell if this is an issue with the pressure that the two offensive players are putting up there for Guild or the positioning of the third man, because every single time they try and get back on the counterattack from Top Blokes, that player is under a lot of trouble. And even if they're not getting demoed, they're up against an awful lot of pressure. Guild need to figure out what the defensive transition back to net looks like, because it's during that transition that they've been getting caught out. And now they're only a single game away from dropping the first series in the set.
You know, at least for Devo's sake, the angle in the replay doesn't look anywhere near as bad as the first time viewing, because you can really see he's trying to avoid the demo on that misplay, and he's probably thinking, well, what's the point of putting myself in the firing line? Speaking of, he's fired one in the top corner, straight through, a challenge. Strong shooting by Devo. Staying mentally strong despite the struggles that they've had. It's always been a Guild thing to do, so well played Devo on the comeback here.
Well, I've noticed that as well from Guild with these challenges. Whenever they come in, they're a little bit later, but that's given them the edge against Top Blokes. It's helped them create pressure, and in this situation, actually gets Devo a goal. Maybe a flip reset fake from Nolly could result in something as well, but it's going to go unanswered. And we've got a pretty close game. It always seems like Guild have some type of advantage, but then things slowly shift the other way for Top Blokes as the game winds down.
We do have Guild one goal up here in our fourth game. Didn't see it earlier on, by the way. Starting a series that we had outstanding as we get one across the net. Sori versus Team Queso really providing us with the perfect start to the championships. Archie wants to provide his team with the perfect start to their championships. Reminder that the loser of this is also not out of the tournament just yet. They will play against Team Queso tomorrow. Winner of that one goes to take on BDS. What a prize that tends to be. And winner of this one takes on Team Vitality, already securing themselves a semi-final spot. That's Foe. Right back to the corner. Can't recover in time. It gives him a little bit of time, though, to continue the pressure. Nolly towards that backboard. That's what I want to see from Flame. Already waiting on the backboard. Realized he had Archie on the goal line. And we'll hope to see more of that from Top Blokes. There's Foe with Nolly. And I think his opponent got bumped into the save.
Yeah, it's a great save either way. I mean, Block managed to pre-jump a mid-air passing play that Guild put together, which was brilliant from them. That's, I think, the best team play that we've seen in this set. And, you know, I want to see more of that because, like you mentioned, what a set and what a final game there between Solary and Queso. I think at the moment you'd have to take Queso over either Guild or Top Blokes in their current form. But this is a long format. You've got many a game to win if you're going to get through to the next round. And if you are going to go down against Queso tomorrow, you've got many games there as well. So plenty more to come in the RLCS X Championship. And there's another one for Flame. And once again, it is an equalizer off a missed touch. I mean, Tho sees Archie coming towards him. He tries to pop it over him, but he didn't get the ball to safety. It's easily strikeable by Flame.
And that's where the benefit of Top Blokes taking a little bit of a slower approach at times comes in handy. Tho was panicking a bit, tried to get the early flick out because he assumed there would be a striker right in front of his face. But in actuality, he was waiting a little bit farther back and got that great follow-up and an easier shot.
Well, panicking has sort of been Guild strategy so far in defense.
Do you call it strategy if it's panicking? I don't know if that's a strategy.
Well, I don't really know what else to call it at this moment in time. Either way, they have got to start calming it down. It's just they are in full red alert the moment anyone from Top Blokes is even around. They are jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
Saw that play from Foe, no real support for him. It's been an issue of panic plays by the third man and nobody around to help them out when those panics actually happen. We'll always get support though in offense. Foe doesn't really want it. He goes low, flip reset.
No
it's going
way.
everywhere.
What is this?
Finally in. Foe, mind game, misplay. Who cares? It's 2-1.
Can we just say that he got the flip reset? Do we have to like?
He got it. He
take
got it.
into
You saw
account-
him
Yep, that's it.
glide on the floor
The flip
afterwards.
reset, incredible. We've never seen anything like it. Guild, that's the goal you want to see from them.
Pure class from Tho. That's how you 1v3 a pro lobby.
That's right, baby.
They all saw the flip reset. They're only thinking about the flip reset. And I mean, this is why flip resets are so dangerous. There's such a range of things that could happen afterwards, such as a complete miss on the ball or mind game, whichever way you want to call it. We'll call it mind game, give them the benefit of the doubt. Tho putting his team in front.
Love how we talk about panicking and then it just switches over to Top Blokes. Everybody flailing at the ball.
It's honestly to be expected. It's that part of the season where we've got used to seeing what these teams can do with the pressure off. Now we see what they can do when it's not necessarily a tournament life on the line, it's a championship life on the line. This is what you've worked your entire season for. And Cassio seems very aware of that fact.
What pass by Flame. And that's a blind pass as well because Cassio's off his field of view there. But brilliantly communicated, perfectly struck, and the shot likewise. 138 kilometers an hour when it crosses the line.
That's a midfield pass that we haven't seen too often from Top Blokes. Even from Guild, it seems like hammering the backboard has been the go-to strategy for both teams, but we are a little bit farther developed in Rocket League and in the offensive strategy. You got to use those midfield passes, and it seems like Top Blokes have figured it out, cracked the code, and the pressure is still mounting for them.
I don't know, Turl. I think Rocket League offense has peaked with that Foe goal.
That's right.
We have seen
there is no
Rocket
better.
League is truly capable of. As Foe yet again missing, this one's going to be a little bit less useful for his team. Archie wipes out the last player. So 2 each, and an opportunity for Top Blokes to take the first series off the backboard. Can they get it done here? No, Cassio too far wide with his shots.
Oh, wow.
But they're still keeping the pressure on. Guild would love to see some overtime. Top Blokes, however, they want this done and dusted. Here's Archie. He's the third man back. It's over to Cassio, who almost managed to make contact.
I cannot believe Guild kept that up. That was so dangerous. They've gotten away with it. Into overtime we go, game 4. Guild need a win if they're going to send us to 5 in the first series. It's Top Blokes early, who have the pressure.
Yeah.
Flame now controls it at the back. That's extreme composure by Flame. Expertly done with low boost. Archie just trying to keep up to his soft touch here. You will. It's good stuff by Top Blokes so far.
Well, that type of rotation is a necessity for Top Blokes. And you had mentioned it in the first game, Johnny Boy. Top Blokes have got to be in the faces of Guild in those corners. It almost resulted in a buzzer beater goal. I want to see more from that from Top Blokes if they're going to get a chance here to take this first series.
Both these teams will also know that these goals can come from anywhere. It can be a ridiculous outplay, or it could just be a little bit of a lapse in concentration. That's how we saw the end of our last overtime finish. over between Teams Queso and Solary. But these teams will want the same to happen to them. Back into the midfield. Foe up, unchallenged, but the shot had nothing on it. And it even sets up brilliantly for Archie, who wants to be brilliant across the entire field, and that is well blocked.
Yeah, he's tried to air dribble all the way there, but it's not worked out. Now, Tho, looking for the dribble. He's cuts off. Great breaker rotation by Top Blokes. Looking for a long shot now is Archie. Devo's got that one covered, but he's demoed for his trouble. Casio quickly intercepts. It's towards Archie again. Nolly defends it well.
Taking his time. Foe just right back over to Top Blokes. Guild need to get themselves at least with Nolly on the ball. He's the one for their boost. Finally, he might have got rid of it. No Flame and Nolly both having an argument over on the wall. Nolly will feel like he won that one. The backboard yet again. No, that's not a target area anymore. But after that misplay, actually, this might be their opportunity. In come Guild. Shot! Blocked by Archie.
Oh, you saw him coming in with the proper amount of speed, but just couldn't get the power. I would like to see him save that flip going in. But even then, I have been looking at the boost from Top Blokes. It seems like they're starting to shift the tides a little bit. Their boost consumption a little bit more efficient. They're controlling the pace of the field, but with these shots that are coming in from Guild, it's a matter of time before Nolly decides to pop off himself.
We're over 2 minutes into OT now. Casio wants the ball past Nolly. It's not quite going to get there. Tho sends it back into the blue end. Top Blokes still doing a good job clearing the ball to their corners. The attack is very difficult to get started at the moment.
Casio into the path of Foe. Second touch from Foe. Has he got any more? Nolly almost got to it. 2 players required to get rid of it again. Foe keeps the pressure going. And Archie finally gets rid of it, but it might only be momentary.
It's the backboard again. Wide open, but there is no one from Guild there to punish it.
The backboard, Casio into the path of Nolly. That shot won't trouble Archie, and they've got rid of the third man. Foe keeps that pressure going yet again. Nobody around from Guild. They're not going to be able to get another shot. And for the first time in a while, Top Blokes have got some breathing room.
I mean, that's the go-to strategy for Guild, though, to keep the pressure on, is to have a couple of slower shots at the net, make Top Blokes waste their boost, and then out of nowhere you hit him with a backboard pass. But Guild have failed to have a third man rotating in. It's usually Nolly. We'll see if he can pick that up and take initiative here and maybe get that follow-up goal as that third striker.
Ceiling pinch by Tho. Devo's first on the scene. Now Nolly's uncontested on the shot. Actually has no boost to get there first though. Casio meets him. Tho cuts off the clear, but he's got on the wrong side of that 50-50. And Archie's behind enemy lines. Chips
what a touch.
No one's there. That was a chance for Top Blokes. Hard to see coming though.
Always got to be ready for that ball to pinch anywhere. Comes out to Flame. Back to the corner. Guild will feel a little bit comfortable playing that, although this is getting worse for them. Devo called it! He's got it! Flame takes it! And Top Blokes take the first series.
Wow, Flame quickly to the near post. He's first to that one by a mile. What a game by him. What a game by all of Top Blokes. Really answering the critics here, ourselves included. They are bringing back some of their early season form, and it's definitely causing Guild problems.
I'm quite surprised. I didn't expect this whatsoever, especially with the defense that Devo is known for. He's always in rotation, and even that last goal felt a bit awkward. Guild need to reposition themselves on the backboard. I thought that we would be seeing the same exact thing, but on the other side. Top Blokes couldn't find the positioning. They were failing to have somebody on the backboard, but it all started to change. And I think, you know, coming down to it, there isn't one specific player. It doesn't feel like we had Archie, say, carry the weight of the offense. It was a full team effort for Top Blokes.
Well, for me, Archie definitely carried the defense. 10 saves for him
10 saves.
In that final game. That is quite the total for him. But for me, Guild needs to figure this out, because a lot of the time, it feels like they're out of rhythm when it comes to arriving in defense, because they get there and they have to stop. They can't keep the movement going because they're getting there. They have to stop. They're waiting for Top Blokes to finally get over. And it's caused a lot of chaos and a lot of confusion for them. Again, Devo forced to completely stay still before the ball's even being played. He finally gets to figure out where he wants to go with it. They've either got to rotate a bit wider, or they've just got to stagger the way back just a little bit more. But for Guild, they've got time now. Gregan's going to have to try and work his magic to try and get them back into this set. The first series for Top Blokes, the team that all of us over on Europe, we all rated them at number 6. I put them at number 5, but that was maybe on me.
Disrespectful.
Probably should have been number 6. I know, very much so, but we have got a set to continue. We're going to go to break. When we come back, Top Blokes versus Guild will continue. Bunch of absolute cowards over there in the Twitch chat, but thankfully I am joined by 2 people who are not cowards. Johnny, making sure that he knows everyone is definitely the coward that we are claiming to be. And Tal, our honorary European. How are you enjoying it so far?
Well, I'm with my mates and my lads. I'm ready to go, and it's been a bit dodgy, but it's cheeky out there. I'm ready. I'm excited. The time has come, okay? I'm ready. I'm feeling it.
It's been a while since I've been able to go and meet my mates. You know, I felt at home at that point.
Yeah, thank you.
So thank you very much for that, Turtle. But Johnny, Guild's currently looking like they might be dropping down to the lower part to take on Team Queso unless they can turn this around. But if there is a team that has shown us resilience this season, Guild are probably one of the most, if not the most resilient team of Europe so far.
Stubborn. They're a stubborn team. You just can't get rid of them. But now it's time for Top Blokes to try, because I like Twitch chat. I have also flipped. I'm currently 0-4
it's unacceptable
for predictions, but I'm flipping again. Top Blokes, I believe in you for the first time in a long time. Let's get it done.
The question is, why do you believe in them? What has changed your mind? I don't even know what it is.
There's nothing more than that, Tal.
That's it. There's nothing else.
Don't give him more credit.
That's it. You're not my mate. You're not my mate anymore. That's it.
I'm even provoking lad status from John.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh! Well, he'll be retaining lad status after that one. What a save. We'll be able to see what exactly Gregan has been telling them in the time that they've had between 2 series that we've had. The thing is, that has been very interesting to see between both these teams. Actually, that's an opportunity in Devo. Open net off the demo. Never gonna miss.
Yeah, Archie pre-jumped the first touch from Nolly, so that was pretty random the way the ball's gonna go. Devo's got it coming towards him. The defender's having to chase it. Devo beats him to it cleanly. Consistent finishing by Devo today, though. You've got to give it to him, despite a couple of mistakes here and there. He has been shooting well, and that's going to be much needed for Guild with the low-scoring games like the ones we've been seeing.
I mean, coming into the second series, Devo is the person I'm really trying to look at as someone that Guild can rely on, as that defender who's always back, has to come in for a lot of the follow-ups. He hasn't looked the best on defense, but like you said, the offense has been solid. If he cleans it up on the rotations, I think we see a much more refined and polished Guild.
Oh, it's back into the middle. Skied straight past it. Nolly already up to the air. We're seeing a very aerial-focused Guild so far. Trying to let their mechanics do the talking for them. Devo takes his time. Not maybe the bounce that he wanted. He's still going to try and follow. As it does drop down. Archie not quite quick enough on the draw. There's a shot off the crossbar. Now one more. What? Tho is doing an amazing job on defense. Now he's going to have an opportunity on the attack. That one not quite going in.
What's that save by Tho? I don't know how on earth he's read that one, because Flame was so aggressively positioned to the back post. I thought Flame was guaranteed a goal there. The positioning was brilliant. He was by far first to the ball, but Tho has pre-jumped to save it. What a turnaround. Guild looking great in game 1.
Well, then Tho also throws himself forward. I like the switch, the nice little pace change. You've got Tho being a bit passive, but then he's not hesitating to get aggressive on the ball and throw himself forward. Here he is again, staying behind it, getting the midfield boost, or at least trying to steal it away, and then rotating back on defense. The shape-shifting play style so far of Guild, and especially Tho, I'm in love with it.
Oh, now already up. Not quite able to score, but so far Guild have looked amazing. That ball's going to roll straight through over to Devo, who just lofts it up high. Nobody around for his team to try and score it. Nobody on his team needs to score it. They've got the advantage. They've got the goal.
Oh.
They've also got Nolly, who can't quite bully his way past Flame.
Cassio nearly sitting on the ball there. It's a rare occurrence at high-level Rocket League, or any level of Rocket League, really, but would have been an achievement. They've done a good job today clearing the ball into the corners. Top Blokes, they're causing it to be, quite difficult for Guild to intercept their clears and get it right back into the danger area. That is giving them time to manage their boost, which has been a struggle for them. Devo with 1 touch, Devo with 2, and more. That's brilliant by Devo in defense to save his team from an awkward situation.
90 seconds left here. Archie Goes low. That's good enough to beat one player, but again, that support is always around from Guild. It seems like Guild have kind of given up on that midfield battle just a little bit more. They're willing to stay back.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll see what that's like a little bit more next time we have a tied-up game, but for now, very, very passive from them. They're just allowing themselves to try and chase. Devo will wish he had like maybe 10, 12 more boost to be able to take a decent shot on net, as that's so much rolled in. Top Blokes need to make sure they don't get caught out. It's going to take one cut rotation, and they might very well not expect it, and it'll be an open net.
I think that midfield, or that lack of, rather, midfield presence from Guild kind of alludes to Johnny Boy's point whenever they've realized that Top Blokes are going for these far clears, and they're waiting for it instead of trying to force themselves forward just to be out of position for one booming clear.
That's a good little knock on there. Guild, again, with the key touches defensively to buy themselves some time, to take away the shots the Top Blokes are looking for. Really few and far between. You know, golden opportunities for Top Blokes haven't been there. Here's one. Archie's got options. Zevo covers both of them, and there's the second save, but no third. Flames uncontested. And after two dead ball 50-50s, Top Blokes tie the game.
This is frustrating for Guild, though, because they did the exact right thing all game long. They kept the numbers advantage in defense, and then they got forward and did nothing with the ball. They left themselves 3v2. It didn't need to happen. And instead they've given it back. Maybe they might be able to take the game yet again. That shot's saved. But this has been the story of the series so far. You're looking good to start with. That's going to be lofted off target. Follow-up is saved. Archie cruelly denied. We go to overtime.
I was just talking about Guild and their fantastic positioning to receive the clears. That one booming one across the field could have been the final goal. And that's it.
There it is.
That's it. Archie seals it.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is terrible news for Guild. Tho has completely...
What is going on?
He's completely mishit that one. It's straight up into the ceiling, and there's no follow-up. I mean, Guild looked great for 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh, sorry, 4 minutes and 42 seconds. And then they all fell apart. I mean, they didn't even do too much in a negative way for the first goal they conceded. I don't think that they played it badly. I think Devo defended the first shot well. I think the second one was covered well. They just didn't have that third man rotation coming in quick enough. But after that goal went in, disaster struck. It all went wrong. They actually should have lost this in regulation time. Had the open net from long range hit the target. Top Blokes missed that one. But oh dear, this is bad news for Guild. Already down one series, and now already down a game in the second series.
Top Blokes, they will be loving that. It's just a quick gut punch to a team that is already coming in off a loss. And for Guild, reminder that they do still have a timeout. Looks like they're going to try and hold on to it, see whether or not they end up losing this one, at which point it will require a reverse sweep to keep them in the upper bracket and potentially facing Vitality later on down the road. But for Top Blokes, just keep doing what they're doing. You know, the goals that they got beat by looked like good goals. It looked like Guild were playing up to the standards that they expect from themselves. But for Top Blokes, just stay where you are, Turtle.
Top Blokes, they're taking the punches, and they are sustaining themselves whenever they move out to offense. And what I like about Top Blokes is their willingness to change their playstyle frequently. They don't want to rely on any specific strategy. They're throwing every single trick they have at Guild. And it's the same story that we even saw in the first series. Guild looked great at the beginning, but Top Blokes recover and make some adjustments to have that advantage over Guild.
You know, Cassio said, and quite confidently as well, that if they put in the same amount of game time as Guild, they'd easily win. So he might be onto something. Oh no, he's completely misread that one. Tho's got him covered though, and nobody from Top Blokes in the area to take a shot. Archie, one touch to the backboard. And thankfully for Guild, he wasn't there for the second one, which is rare when you're talking about Archie. This is going to be a tough one to stop. Oh, it's not even got a contact on it though. Guild getting away with it here. That's a couple of uncontested shots, but Top Blokes haven't quite been able to reach them.
Tho is the player with the most amount of boost. He's going to be required at some point. And here he comes off the backboard. Not quite as easy to score from there as it was back in our first series. Archie ends up missing. Devo actually hits Cassio. Where's the support? They're all on the halfway line.
They're not quite ready, I guess, for that one to develop. And I mean, it was a bit random. Devo kind of just fell on him, didn't he? It was less of a planned play, more of a just a natural occurrence. This is definitely planned. They'll flame to the middle. Archie's not able to get there before Nolly. GLD are cutting off a lot of passes very well here. It's been just the occasional mistake that's caused them problems in this set. That's a great save. Archie landing on Nolly's shot. Can flame get goal side of this one. Tho's not going to meet him to it in a rush. GLD are taking their time with this. They're backing off. They're just sizing up the opportunities. Top Blokes are quite comfortable with this kind of pressure.
It feels like another trap, though. I mean, we're seeing GLD apply some fantastic pressure here early on, but then what's it going to take now for Top Blokes to completely switch on GLD, change their playstyle up? Even that double commit there doesn't seem too impactful for GLD as they're trying to move into the midfield. No passes come out. They're so far spaced out between each other, it seems like they can't even connect them if they wanted to.
I'm okay with that now for the time being. They just need to weather the storm, get themselves back into a good spot mentally. Backboard. Archie seems to have fully taken it upon himself to make sure that that's no longer a problem for them, and these carries out. Archie, once again, doing a great job of it. Whenever he gets on the ball, looks like Top Blokes have got the transition secured. He's going to try for yet another one. Not quite got the stretchy enough car to reach that shot. Cassio out of boost. He'll maintain pressure. Flame looking for the backboard. Devo, he's missed it. Nolly back over to Foe. Good positioning between those two. They work together to get rid of the danger. And now a little bit of danger here for Top Blokes. They weren't able to read the bounces.
Good save.
Because in comes Foe. Not going to be able to reach it before Cassio, but almost found the block.
It's a good defensive play again by Flame. He's been called upon by Top Blokes several times today, and he's answered the call with consistency defensively. Now here he is in attack. I don't think he got a flip there, so he's just going to have to get behind it. Look for a solid 50-50. And now Nolly, who's been a bit quiet today. We've seen him take over lobbies at the highest level in Europe this season. Hasn't been able to do it today, despite a couple of stylish goals in this set. And he's not had as much of an influence as Archie had, and that was the talking point coming in, player versus player. Archie and Nolly, two guys you're looking at to really put on a show. Archie's done that. We've yet to see Nolly peak to the highest level that he can.
Well, what I like about Archie is he's not trying to do too much. It's whenever he's impacting the field, it's very simple. It's been with the 50-50s. We even saw it in the previous game. It was 2 straight 50s in a row that led to an opportunity, maybe one there for Cassio. Could have resulted in something pretty special, but it's something different about Archie. It's not, flashy solo plays. He wants to take it slower and just get GLD out of position.
Archie's had his moment where he had everyone talking about, oh, look at these amazing goals that he's scoring. Look at how he's able to 1v3 teams. That was earlier on this season. You can't do that the entire time because you start being a little bit more targeted for it. Good shot. Almost managed to put it behind the goalkeeper. Devo hits it, sees Foe is over in support. It's been difficult for Foe to really play down the middle channel. Every time he does, he's usually under pressure. Top Blokes have got players staring directly at him. Devo, a little bit too late. Foe will be by himself as Archie chooses for the ball rather than trying to hit Foe. I think that might have been a mistake. Foe was there for the taking.
And he did change car between sets, so you got to imagine Foe's not having the best day at the office here, at least not feeling like he's playing at his usual level. That would, be partially an explanation for GLD's struggles. Here's Nolly, reset.
Full boost.
Not on the ball yet, but he's got the shot. Oh! Safe post, or I think crossbar pinched by Cassio to just dink it clear and into the corner for overtime.
That one was floating in.
I don't know about the view that you had there, Turtle, but to me, I couldn't even see him. He was very much covered by a car, and it just suddenly seemed like, oh, hey, there's Cassio. He's managed to get rid of it. And GLD now need to get rid of this ball and get themselves a game, because if they don't, they need a reverse sweep. They do need a reverse sweep! Flame takes it! Top Blokes have got set point.
It's Flame again! Just attacking the ball as it centers. That's what you want from your second man in a rotation. Just ignore the defender, get to the ball as quickly as you can, and send it on target with power. Flame 2 games in a row now with the winning goal. GLD need 3 in a row, or they are going to be down to the scarier side of the bracket. They're not going to be out. They will, if they lose against Top Blokes in the series, they'll be against Solary in the lower half. But this is not where they want to be. And unsurprisingly, a timeout called by GLD. They've used these to success in the past, but this is the most important one they've had all season.
That's just a painful one to go out on as well, because you mentioned the second man for Top Blokes. It looked like it was also the second man for Guild who was going to get the save. Tho was on the backboard, so that's the player I'm paying attention to right now. He's got to make recover. We saw the car switch. We've seen a little bit of his playstyle shift around. You know, at times he's a little bit aggressive, then he shifts back. I liked that initially, but apparently it's not working for his mentality. He's been a little bit off, couldn't get the read. That player specifically has got to make an adjustment, because you cannot rely on Devo and Nolly to do all that work.
Well, the way that Guild position has often been, okay, Nolly, if you can get the plays going, get the plays going. But if you can't, Tho, we're looking at you. Lead the rotation. And I mean that in a very literal way. That is, don't come back the halfway line unless you absolutely have to, because for the rest of the time, we want you chasing that ball, whether or not you've got 100 boost, 50 boost, or negative 10 boost. Either way, you need to still be in front of that player. Tho's not been capable of that. We've already mentioned how Nolly not playing to the standard that I'm sure he wants to. He keeps going to the air. He's come close on a few occasions, but the chances have not fallen to him. As for Tho, that aggressiveness hasn't been around, and it's very unlikely you're going to see Devo take the focal point of the rotation. He knows his role. He's not going to split away from it. So we are going to have to look at Nolly and Tho and just say, which one of you is going to step up here?
And it isn't entirely Guild's fault that they're struggling here. In order for Nolly to be making those big aerial plays, those really, finesse, mechanical plays that we're used to seeing from him, the other team has to give him something. They have to give him space. They have to give him boost. They have to give him the respect that, okay, I think you have landed that reset. I'm going to go a little bit higher on my challenge. That's what lets him go underneath with the mind games or with the flip reset plays that we were used to seeing from him. But this isn't something that he's had the luxury of against Top Blokes, who have been extremely quick to challenge. Very, very, good at cutting off the plays that Guild are establishing in the midfield. And Guild haven't had quick follow-ups. Again, because Top Blokes are not just saving the ball when they're making saves, they're chipping it into positions that can't be struck by Guild quickly. So that's a real hindrance. Guild are going to need to, I think, make more plays off the ball, whether that's in the case of Tho just going on a rampage and turning into Virtuoso 2.0 or whatever else they decide to do. What they're currently doing is just not threatening enough. And Top Blokes, I mean, Archie showing up in a different way today. So many saves. What a player he is.
I mean, when I'm looking at Top Blokes on offense, that's where I'm the most impressed. It's been a very versatile attempt, especially when compared to the first series. In the first series, we saw a lot of backboard touches, a little bit more simple-minded from Top Blokes, but we come out here, and even in the replays we're seeing, it's been off the sidewall, it's been off the backboard, a couple of dribbles then from Archie, the 50-50s. They're using everything they've got in the toolbox to approach Guild and break down that defensive wall.
Well, you mentioned earlier on, Johnny, about how they need to take a little bit of something from Virtuoso's toolbox. If there's a team and a player that Guild have played against more, you'll struggle to find one. Guild,
that's true.
I've played at Endpoint maybe more times than they've played almost any other team combined. It's been, pretty much their main rivals. Obviously, Endpoint not quite making it to this stage of the tournament. But when you look across to the field, they do need something different. It's not quite been the correct way to approach it. You mentioned how it seems like there's always immediate challenges because Top Blokes can afford it. They've got 3 players back. They can afford to wait, and they can afford to send that player because they've still got 2 players on the goal line. So why rush? Just send somebody. Next player can have an easier time.
Yeah, Top Blokes have been brilliant. This is something we haven't seen for a long time, and it's something I had absolutely no expectation of seeing, because when you've got
none of us did.
so many tournaments, exactly, when it's been so long since we saw Top Blokes at their top level, you can't expect this. And even with the longer prep for this tournament, you thought that would favor Guild more, because they've actually prepared really well recently for several events, put in good results. And this is something new from Top Blokes. It's great to see, honestly, because we don't want to see these guys, showing up and becoming top chokes, as they've been, I'll say, affectionately known as. But they're Top Blokes today up until now, and they can absolutely make a run on this side of the bracket. If they make it past Guild, why not past Vitality as well?
Exactly. And that's definitely the better matchup of the two. I'm not necessarily for Top Blokes, though, because even then when you think back, Top Blokes have had a good history and record against BDS. But regardless, Top Blokes, they get into this situation where everybody doubts them. Everybody thinks that, you know, they're maybe top 6 at best. And then they just prove us wrong, ascend to the top, have a stellar run. And I'm not seeing as much of Casio as I thought I would be. You were right, Shogun. It has been a majority of Archie making those plays downfield.
Yeah, Archie's not overstaying his welcome. And I think that's a big thing to learn when you're, you know, the new hotness in Rocket League. You have to sort of realize, okay, it doesn't always need to be about me, but I can still do my part. I can still get the ball downfield, make sure that my team is in a great spot. And that's what he's been doing. Pick up the ball, take it downfield, get the challenge. You're trading yourself 1-for-1. But the good news for you is you don't need defense anymore. The rest of your team can now come and cover you. As you guys have brilliantly mentioned, Top Blokes have been the quicker on the challenge after that. The second man has always been quicker from Top Blokes. So for them, just keep this up. And maybe the theories can always be that Top Blokes have just always liked being downplayed. You know, we started to think a little bit too much of them. And they were just like, all right, we're going to take about a couple of months off, make sure everyone doesn't believe in us anymore, and we can come back and prove them all wrong. Always been a team that have been very solid with a chip on their shoulder.
I like that. The ultimate underdog story. They've
losing to come back and be an underdog again.
To scraping through to the championships with other teams' losses, and now you're nobody expects you to win, so they do win. But no, they've been brilliant. I think the two keys for me is, you know, we haven't seen Casio, you know, completely show up and take over this lobby, but that's not what we need from Casio. We don't have to see that. We've never had to see that. It's you know, it's really Archie who occasionally has to do a little bit of heavy lifting for this team, and for Flame and Casio to try and bring the best out of their star player. There's lots of teams like this. You got Rogue in North America having success winning tournaments with the exact same play style. So can Flame and Casio continue to, you know, just play it as solidly as possible? I mean, Flame's clutching it up with the goals at the end of these games, so absolutely they're all putting in work here. But we haven't seen them at the center of attention when it comes to mistakes either, and I think that's the key. They're managing to just slide through this one without the mistakes that we've become used to seeing from them.
And we spoke to Atomic earlier. He said he'd rather play against Guild. He's 5 minutes away potentially from getting exactly what he wants.
Yeah.
Evo, good demo, and that's off the post. Almost an unfortunate own goal there from Flame, but he is able to keep it away. And now he's over to the other side of the field, looking to try and create.
That would have been painful.
We've seen good starts here from Guild, and then they have that one moment of calamity. They need to not have that again.
We talk about top chokes, then start out with an own goal. That's just the type of top chokes that we all would have expected, but we're not going to see that so far. We've seen solid defense, and it's the clear game again. That one not too perfect on the accuracy, but look at the way they transition out. There's somebody downfield to take it forward and then go off the backboard. This is what Top Blokes do the best. It's not flashy, it's not insane, but it's so clean and polished with that rotation, and they can keep this pressure on. Guild half.
Or to see the pressure that they are willing to put on. Just constantly just flying at it, making sure that the time in the midfield is a little bit easier. That's a great clear and throw, waiting for it. Casio has to be strong with his hits. And he manages to get off the ceiling, buy his team some time to get back into position.
Oh my, look at Archie. That's some play from Archie. Oh my, that started on the backboard. One touch, and there's a second one to outplay the incoming attacker. And then the recovery to flick it past Tho, who's moving in for the challenge, thinking there's no way that he's going to have this. And then realizes to his horror, wait a minute, he's actually got that. That's crazy from Archie.
That second touch to allow the ball to roll down, but not too far forward so he could keep control was unbelievable. Archie, that is insane. Again, it's not super flashy, but it's something that is incredibly difficult. You need to have the perfect touch, the best time you could ask for, and he does it yet again in this series.
So he goes from midfield transitions to across the entire field transitions. Archie looking to be the set winner. A goal like that might very well be so, as Guild pushing forwards. Nobody around to take the shot, instead far too close to it. Flame powers the ball far side. Asks Diva, what can you do with this? Diva responds, I can do whatever I want, mate. Looks for the goalkeeper. Casio avoids incredibly well. Both forced to retreat to his own backboard. Not looking too comfortable either. Flame already in. Devo back to Nolly. No one midfield for him, so Nolly's going to have to go by himself. Gets bumped into hitting the ball off the backboards. And Top Blokes, smooth as you like. Just escape yet again, and now they're back under pressure yet again. Flame doesn't jump, he's too late!
Oh!
And he's not going to be able to keep that one out!
That's quick.
That's too much.
That's quick from Nolly. Clean beat as he backboards the ball for Devo. And it was close from Flame. He got a piece of it, but not enough as it goes into the bottom corner. Guild respond with plenty time left on the clock. And that's great news for Guild fans because that clock was their worst enemy at this moment. It's been a low-scoring series, a low-scoring set, and they desperately needed that. Speed from Nolly was the key.
And they don't get to that part of the game where they're going to start really having to push for plays that, you know, they wouldn't necessarily want to be going for, but still need that goal. Archie off the backboard. He'd like to try and grab his brace. Flame, one more time. Guild not looking too happy with where they're positioned.
Oh.
We're looking towards Foe. He's the one with 100 boosts.
Oh, Archie's there, though.
Just a little bit. Yep, and Foe has to use a little bit of that boost in a way that he didn't want to. Top Blokes have always been around. They've always been a hassle.
Archie is such a pest. You can see him on the backboard waiting and then gets the perfect first touch. The control from this man that we've seen on display has been out of this world. And I do notice a big shift, though, in the Guild defense. The second man, that's what was plaguing them in the first two games. The second man has been a bit faster. You know, right here from Nolly, getting on the backboard and having a follow-up. But he didn't do anything with it. Nolly was in the best position, but the control wasn't there.
Oh, Nolly wanted to try and knock that down for Devo, but Guild, who have relied so much on communication to be pristine, have fallen apart again. That touch did not make sense to Devo. He thought that it was going to be more to the corner. It's gone middle, and the presence of mind for Top Blokes to pass that off the near post back wall. Brilliant. They're putting together passing plays, solo plays throughout the set here, and you know, as we get further into this, I think they look ever more dominant. This is extremely bad news for Guild. Can they get any kind of energy going, any kind of momentum going? Well, not with Archie making 1v2 plays look this easy.
Ooh.
Archie is
free jump to get that save. You can see the power was coming in from Guild, and still the defense holds up strong from Top Blokes in moments where you think they're a bit shaky.
Good clear yet again. This is going to be so frustrating for Guild. You think you've got them locked down, and suddenly they find one quick double touch off the wall, one big clear, and Top Blokes are immediately out. Devo looks for Foe, and it's not quite accurate enough. Archie had it covered either way. Everybody on the goal line right now from Top Blokes. That backboard continues to be the option. Will Guild ever go infield? Devo set to himself, looks for the challenge. In comes Nolly, far side, up once again. Wants the backboard, and Flame takes it away.
Guild have still got a massive boost advantage here. Devo going to be first to it, but Archie uses everything he's got to beat him. Final few seconds of the game. Guild need a goal, or they're going to be down to the lower half of this bracket.
Good clear. Up from Foe. Nolly in support.
No way, no way.
Nolly looks to go for it. He's completely misread. And Top Blokes take it.
Wow, Top Blokes advance to play Vitality in the semis. And against all odds, they've done it in a 2-0 set. That's unbelievable. It got better and better for them as this one went on. And, you know, starting off with a 3-1, then a 3-0. They've really completely outplayed Guild today. And Guild are not out yet, but they've got to go back to the drawing board here because that was not what we expected to see from them. Yes, Top Blokes exceeded expectations massively, but I think we wanted to see more from Guild. We wanted to see a little bit more of, you know, of the finesse from Nolly, a little bit more of the domination from Tho, and you know, the mistakes were definitely there at the worst possible times as well.
I mean, Tho, I think he had to have more of a presence on the field. We barely saw him in action. He was getting a couple of good saves, but that's not what he's known for. We need to see the aggression, taking boosts, being everywhere on the field, ball chasing a little bit even then to open up the space for Nolly to then do and work a little bit of his magic. Guild, there's a lot of room to improve, and I'm also happy and excited to see how Top Blokes can move on now from their playstyle because there's room for them to grow as well, and they're definitely a team you have to fear, Shogun.
Well, as you mentioned, they're taking on Team Vitality later on. As for Guild, they have to go and plan for the unplannable. They have got Team Queso down in the lower bracket. That will be tomorrow.
Oh, man.
That'll be the last opportunity to secure themselves a semi-final spot. We're done here, but Top Blokes are certainly not. Leaf, over to you.
Well, I mean, at least we have our spines still, right? We have those, but we do not have a correct prediction at this point. Yeah, very unexpected gives, I think, for everyone here.
But that's what I want to see, right? You have like pretty much, what was it, like 3 or 4 weeks to prep. And Top Blokes, they use that time to get better, because we saw it throughout all of spring where there was 3 tournaments within 4 weeks, and there's not a lot of time to really try to figure out what's going wrong. But they took this time and they figured it out, and they took it to Guild. A 3-0 at the end, a 3-1 like in that first series. That is a great show for Top Blokes, and they avoid BDS now. They're on the side with Vitality, who also didn't have a great spring, so it's wide open for them.
I said throughout that Top Blokes were going to take this one easily. Sure, it might be a close set. Maybe every single game in both series will be between one goal here or there. But I always said it. Look, Top Blokes, they were always going to come up clutch. You got Archie. He is a genius of the game. Flame took everything away. Castillo, can we mute him? Passing. Top Blokes going to win this whole thing. BDS.
Go on, Cole. Go and whisper another voiceover, mate. All right. I can't believe what you're doing right now.
Play me some techno and I shall, Stumpy.
I am so impressed by Top Blokes. I have been well and truly shut up, and I am happy that they've done it. Top Blokes are well and truly back. They looked incredible. We have had a gigantic question mark over them. The fact that they were 3rd in the overall table, but then they were everybody's, I think most people, maybe everybody's last pick. To come into the power rankings of this event. Wow, I'm so gobsmacked, and I am pleased that they are back.
Well, we're going to bring Rams on now to rub it all in here, coach of Top Blokes. You guys did it, and you barely some belief came out from chat after the beginning of that series there, or that entire set, Rams. How you feeling about this?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. It's all right.
All right, you know. I want to ask you though, because you guys had some time to sit down and really break down what was going on with the team, because obviously, I think it's safe to say you guys probably weren't happy with the performance in the latter part of the season there. Something changed. You guys worked on something. What did you guys sit down and fix to make sure that you can come out with a dub today?
I think a lot of it was just regaining our confidence in each other and ourselves. We worked really hard throughout the season, and obviously there was some fatigue coming into it. We also had some unfortunate situations popping up in the team, which had a negative effect on us for the spring split. But ultimately, when we came into it, it was like, hey, we've still got the champs to play for. Like, this is the final tournament. We've got to put everything we have to, and it's paid off, evidently.
So 1 game lost throughout that set. Did you expect it to be that easy, or were you expecting it to go to 3 series?
I'm honestly upset that we dropped the game. I think it should have been a 6-0. So
Rams, I can't believe you.
I mean, I don't quite think you strongly believe that bravado that you're saying, but I mean, every single game in that came down to 1 goal. In all seriousness, was there even one moment where you felt the tiniest bit comfortable as you were watching on?
Yeah, no, I'm being deadly serious. The whole time, I felt like the goals that we were conceding, we were like, oh, we did this. Let's fix that for the next one. And then we'd be like completely in control. Like, honestly, it felt like we were completely in control from 0 seconds to 5 minutes every single game.
I said that I was... I said that I was so impressed by Top Blokes, and I can't echo that enough. Instead of looking sort of into the past where there has been plateaus and some iffy moments, looking ahead, you've now got Vitality ahead of you, and that is all that stands between your team, your fantastic Top Blokes, and the grand finals of the championship. Are you happy that you're facing them over BDS, and do you see yourselves being in that grand final?
I think you have to see yourselves in the grand final. I don't think there's a situation where you complete a series against guilds who have been completely on form, admittedly, and think, hey, oh, we did that. Well, job's done, guys. Like, we see ourselves getting to the final. We see ourselves lifting the metaphorical trophy through the internet. It's gonna be great. It's only 8 more games. I think that's the way we have to look at it.
That's still a lot of games though going forward, but while we didn't have the confidence, I think I can say that we're all definitely happy to see the team regain, get back together, and come out strong here. So congratulations on that win, Rams, and good luck going forward.
Thank you, guys.